Picture this: the fridge breaks down the same week the car needs new tires. For a younger family, it's inconvenient. But after 50, when income may be more fixed and savings are precious, these moments can feel like a storm hitting calm waters. Let me ask you, if something unexpected happened tomorrow, do you know exactly where your emergency money is and how your family would handle it? Today we're talking about building an emergency money plan that keeps families steady and connected, even when surprises come knocking. It's not just about dollars and cents. It's about peace of mind, legacy, and teamwork across generations. Think of an emergency fund like a family cushion, something soft and steady to land on when life throws you off balance. For many people after 50, the idea of setting aside money can feel overwhelming, especially if retirement is near or already here. But a cushion doesn't need to be huge to be helpful. Picture a favorite armchair with an old pillow. It may not look impressive, but when you lean back, it takes the weight off your shoulders. That's what even a modest emergency fund can do for a family. The beauty of building this cushion is that it can grow quietly, almost unnoticed, when added to regularly in small amounts. Maybe it's the same as skipping one dinner out each month or choosing a simpler grocery brand and putting the savings aside. Over time, these small contributions stitch together into something surprisingly strong. Families often underestimate how these habits become more than financial. They also serve as lessons. A grandchild watching you set aside $10 or $20 regularly sees consistency, and that memory can shape their own money habits in the future. There's also an emotional layer here. Knowing there's something tucked away brings a sense of calm, and that calm ripples through the household. When the water heater breaks or the car needs an unexpected repair, the conversation shifts from panic to problem solving. Instead of arguing over where the money will come from, the family can turn to the cushion and decide together how best to use it. That shift reduces tension and keeps relationships intact during already stressful times. Another way to picture this cushion is as a family quilt, stitched not only with money but with values. Each patch might represent a choice: choosing to save a small tax refund, setting aside birthday cash, or even pooling small contributions during family gatherings. Over time, it becomes more than just a fund. It becomes a shared symbol of preparation and care. Everyone knows it's there, not just for one person, but to support the whole group when the unexpected arrives. What makes this idea powerful is its simplicity. There's no need for complicated financial tools or high-pressure strategies. Just the steady act of putting something aside, however small, and treating it as untouchable unless life really demands it. It's less about numbers on a statement and more about creating that soft, dependable place to land. A cushion that protects both the family's money and their peace of mind. When it comes to money, many families quietly rely on one person to handle the details. It could be the spouse who pays the bills, the parent who manages the retirement accounts, or even the adult child who helps keep track of online banking. That setup can feel efficient, but it also creates a hidden risk. If the unexpected happens and that person is unavailable, the rest of the family may suddenly find themselves scrambling in the dark. Shared visibility is about making sure no one is left lost when life is already stressful. Imagine a couple where one partner always keeps the household files. They know the logins, the bank contacts, and the insurance details. Then an illness or a sudden trip takes them out of the picture. The other partner, who may have spent years trusting that everything is handled, is faced with a stack of urgent paperwork and no idea where to start. The emotional stress doubles, not because the money isn't there, but because the map to reach it is missing. Shared visibility prevents that map from vanishing. This doesn't mean every family member needs to be involved in every dollar spent. It simply means that key information is organized in a way that others can understand. Some families create a simple binder with account details, emergency contacts, and instructions written clearly. Others prefer a digital document kept in a secure folder, accessible by those who may need it. The method isn't as important as the intention to leave breadcrumbs so no one feels stranded. There's also a trust-building element here. When a parent or grandparent shares where the emergency fund is or explains how the bills get paid, it invites connection. It says, "I trust you with what matters most." For adult children, this can be reassuring because it prepares them to step in gracefully if needed rather than making tough guesses during a crisis. It also opens the door for conversations that might not otherwise happen, like discussing who should be contacted first or how different accounts are used. Shared visibility isn't about giving up control, it's about creating a sense of teamwork. Everyone may not touch the finances day to day, but everyone knows where the trail begins. That simple clarity can turn what could be a panicked emergency into a manageable, thoughtful response. In the end, it's less about money and more about protecting one another from confusion when clarity is needed most. The idea of the three-category rule is to give emergency money a sense of order. Almost like dividing a kitchen pantry. When every shelf has its purpose, it's easier to find what you need when you're rushed. In the same way, separating emergency funds into 3 buckets helps families avoid draining everything at once and makes each dollar feel like it already has a job. This structure is simple enough to remember, but powerful enough to guide decisions in stressful times. The first bucket is for immediate needs. Think of it as the small drawer where you keep candles and matches for a sudden blackout. This is the cash or quick access money that can cover taxi rides, groceries, or a co-pay at the doctor's office. Having a little on hand means you don't have to swipe a credit card the moment something unexpected happens. It's about speed and ease, not size. The second bucket is for short-term coverage. This money usually sits in a savings account, ready for when something breaks or wears out. Picture the washing machine flooding the laundry room or the family car refusing to start on a Monday morning. These aren't life-threatening emergencies, but they can throw a household into chaos if there's no backup. Knowing there's a pool of money waiting to handle repairs or replacements gives everyone peace of mind. The third bucket is the long-term safety net. This isn't money you dip into lightly. It might be in certificates of deposit, a retirement account, or another place that takes a little effort to reach. This bucket is there for larger challenges, like unexpected medical treatments or helping a family member in a serious bind. Because it requires more thought to access, it acts as a safeguard against using it for everyday inconveniences. What makes this rule special is how it helps families talk about emergencies without fear. Instead of one big, mysterious pile of savings, you have clear categories that reflect different levels of urgency. It's like teaching everyone the layout of a house, where the flashlight is, where the spare blankets are, and where the backup keys are kept. When the family understands these buckets, decisions feel calmer and less reactive. By framing emergency funds this way, you turn saving into something tangible and purposeful. It's not just money sitting in an account. It's 3 forms of security, ready to catch you at different stages of need. That simple structure can be the difference between panic and preparedness. Talking about money with adult children or even grandchildren can feel awkward, but involving the next generation in an emergency plan can be one of the most valuable gifts you give them. It's not just about numbers or accounts. It's about passing down a way of thinking that blends responsibility with care. Think of it like sharing a family recipe. At first, it may seem easier to just cook it yourself, but when you invite others into the kitchen, they learn the steps, the flavors, and eventually how to carry it forward themselves. When you open up about how you've prepared for emergencies, You invite younger family members into a conversation about resilience. For example, a grandparent might explain why they keep a small cash fund at home for immediate needs, or how they divide savings into different categories. Hearing this, a son or daughter may realize they can do something similar, even if their budget is tighter. These stories turn abstract advice into real, lived lessons. There's also a practical benefit. Imagine a scenario where you need help paying a sudden medical bill or handling a home repair. If your children already understand where the emergency fund is and how it's meant to be used, they can step in smoothly without confusion. Instead of frantically searching for paperwork or guessing which account to use, they feel prepared and trusted. That readiness not only reduces stress, but also strengthens the bond between generations. Another overlooked aspect is how this openness builds empathy. Younger family members often see their parents or grandparents as steady and unshakable. When you share your approach to preparing for emergencies, you reveal both your vulnerability and your wisdom. It shows them that planning isn't about fear, but about protecting loved ones. This shift in perspective can encourage them to view money not just as currency, but as a tool for care and stability. And it doesn't have to be a heavy or formal talk. Some families make it a lighthearted conversation during dinner, while others might use family gatherings as a chance to share small tips. Even a story about how you handled a past emergency, what worked, what didn't, can open the door for meaningful dialogue. By involving the next generation, you're not only safeguarding your own future, but also planting seeds for theirs. You give them knowledge, confidence, and a sense of partnership. In the end, that shared understanding may matter just as much as the emergency money itself. Money often takes the spotlight when we talk about emergencies, but there's another resource that deserves equal attention: emotional strength. An emotional fund is the reserve of calm, reassurance, and support that a family draws on when life delivers an unwelcome surprise. It may not be written in a bank ledger, but it can make the difference between falling apart under pressure and navigating the storm together with steady hearts. Picture a household where the water heater suddenly breaks in the middle of winter. The expense is stressful, but often the louder tension comes from raised voices, blame, and panic. In families that keep an emotional fund, there's a quiet understanding. Instead of rushing into arguments, they pause, breathe, and remind one another that the problem is solvable. That pause is worth as much as any dollar, because it preserves connection at the very moment it's most fragile. Building this kind of fund starts long before a crisis. It can be as simple as creating routines of open conversation, where worries are shared without judgment. Families who practice listening during calm times find it easier to support each other when things get rough. Even small rituals, like a weekly phone call or a group text to check in, add layers to that reserve. It's like making regular deposits, not of money, but of trust and patience. The emotional fund also works across generations. For example, an adult child reassuring their parent during a health scare is a kind of withdrawal from that shared reserve. Later, when the child faces financial stress, the parent's calm perspective becomes a deposit back into the account. This back and forth shows that support doesn't always flow in one direction. Each family member has something to contribute, whether it's humor to lighten the mood, a reminder of past resilience, or simply a willingness to listen. It's also helpful to acknowledge that emotions themselves can be unpredictable. Just like an unexpected bill, a wave of fear or frustration can appear out of nowhere. By agreeing as a family to handle those emotions with patience, you protect not only financial stability, but also the harmony of your relationships. In this way, the emotional fund acts as a buffer against both external shocks and internal conflicts. At its heart, this idea is about remembering that emergencies are not only about fixing what's broken, but also about keeping each other whole. A family that protects its emotional well-being alongside its financial resources is one that weathers storms with more than just money. It weathers them with unity. When people think about emergencies, the mind often jumps to dramatic images: hospital stays, car accidents, or major home repairs. Those are real and worth preparing for, but there's another category that quietly drains finances: the forgotten costs. These are the smaller, less obvious expenses that sneak in and unsettle a budget. Because they don't feel like big emergencies, they're easy to overlook, yet together they can cause just as much stress. Imagine breaking your glasses on a busy morning. It's not life-threatening, but without them you can't drive, read, or go about your day comfortably. The replacement cost, sometimes hundreds of dollars, lands like a surprise bill. Or think about being called suddenly to visit a relative in another city. Plane tickets, gas, meals, and time away add up quickly. These are the kinds of situations that often catch families off guard, not because the money isn't somewhere in the account, but because no one thought to plan for them. Another common example comes with utilities. A heat wave or a cold snap can double the electricity or gas bill in a single month. The household may be well prepared for steady expenses, but when that spike arrives, it feels like being blindsided. The same can happen with pet emergencies, technology failures like a broken phone, or unexpected fees tied to banking or travel. None of these individually may seem as urgent as a hospital stay, but together they represent the slow leaks that wear down savings. The beauty of recognizing these forgotten costs is that simply naming them reduces their power. Families who talk about these possibilities can set aside a small portion of their emergency cushion, specifically for such everyday disruptions. It's like keeping a drawer of spare batteries and light bulbs. Not glamorous, but incredibly useful when the moment comes. The preparation also lessens tension within the household. Instead of debating whether something counts as an emergency, everyone knows there's a space carved out for these in-between situations. There's also an emotional benefit. When a forgotten cost arises, it's often the frustration, not the price tag, that rattles people. By expecting the unexpected in small ways, families shift from feeling ambushed to feeling capable. It transforms the story from "we weren't ready" into "we planned for this too." That change builds confidence and reduces friction, turning minor disruptions into manageable bumps in the road. In the end, the forgotten costs remind us that emergencies aren't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes they're quiet, ordinary, and easily underestimated. By giving them a place in the plan, you protect not just your money, but your peace of mind. An emergency money plan isn't about living in fear. It's about giving yourself and your family the gift of steadiness. When you know where the quilt is, who holds the breadcrumbs, and how the recipe gets passed down, surprises lose their power to overwhelm. Now, I'd love to hear from you. How has your family handled an unexpected expense in the past, and what did you learn from it? Share your story in the comments. Your experience may be exactly what another family needs to hear today. And if this video sparked ideas for your own plan, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can keep building stronger family and financial bonds together.